Hey guys. Hey Adam. Hi Mark. Peter, g'day. James P, g'day. Bit excited about the new machines that you're not supposed to tell anyone about. Stuart, g'day. Mark Osborne, hello. Um, Gosh, it's all happening. All happening. Yeah, I'm not feeling like anything's happening quick enough, but it's happening. How is everyone? It's Wednesday again. Another week's disappeared. Did rub these back, put another coat on them, and put some white lines on them. We've got one run there that I've just noticed, but I don't think the rest are really terrible, actually. They're not bad. Do the job. Hey, Dan. So that's done. Now, trace this up. That's going on there, right? Whether we like it or not, at some point. Don't know when. Before these go back on. Don't know when. Parcel come today, which is, I guess everyone's seen this at some point in their lives. This is, there we go, transfer leaf. No, only on one side, only on the off side, or the road side actually, because I'm not going to do two, stuff it. So just on the road side. This is transfer leaf. Does anyone know about gold leaf? I guess you all know all about gold leaf. There's two types of transfer leaf. There's loose press or loose leaf, and there's transfer press from transfer leaf. This is transfer leaf. Now, there are some differences there. Loose leaf is loose as it is, right? It's basically both sides of the paper are treated with French chalk, like Dan's truck, yeah. And when the gold's pressed flat, right, loose leaf it's pressed between two pieces of French chalk or calcium carbonate or whatever it is tissues, and it's loose in between, and when you peel one off it blows away. That's how that works. Hey Matt, transfer leaf, only one side's powdered, so it's stuck to the other side. So when you transfer this pattern down and then put some sort of a medium to stick it, whether it's say a size or paint or whatever, put that down on the area on the inside of the line, and French chalk around all everything else. So French chalk at first, and then note with a loose powder, and then transfer this down onto there. Then fill in between the lines with a size. Then when you put this down, it'll only stick to the size, and whatever's left will stick to the paper still. So it's much less messy and a lot cleaner. There are some issues with using transfer leaf. One is that it doesn't burnish. so you can't get an actual pattern on it or an engine turn pattern or a burnish pattern or whatever, but that's irrelevant to this job. So that's Journeyman Randy, g'day. It's probably a bridge too far. So we're going to use transfer leaf, which is a little bit cheaper, a little bit easier, and it's 21 carat, so it's a yellow gold. Whereas if it's alloyed down, it won't be 21 carat. It'll be 18 or 16 or something like that. And it'll have it when you buy it. It'll have an indication of whether it's green or lemon or white or whatever else has been alloyed with. If it's alloyed with, I think they alloyed it with platinum to give you white gold, and it's alloyed with something else to give you a green. Anyway, it's all available in different colours and shapes and fancy sizes and things. But if you've got a fairly pure gold, if you go too pure, it's much too soft to go on a complex little pattern like this. It's going to tear out in all the corners. And if you go not pure enough, it's not going to be, it's sort of going to have the opposite. It's not going to have crisp corners where the size finishes. So there you go. There's introduction to gold leaf. It's enough to almost get you in trouble. It's enough to get me in trouble. Anyway, got a book of 10 sheets, I think, of transfer leaf. Give you some idea, that's about $90, something like that. And it would cover, 10 sheets would cover about half of one of these panels. So there you go. Also just unpacked this, which was in the same parcel. Right, probably should have had one of these a long time ago, but I've used sort of a makeup brush for a long time and it's sort of not real good. This is a leaf mop, squirrel hair, grey squirrel, I think, brown squirrel. I don't know whether it's grey squirrel or brown squirrel. There you go. And that's for brushing the excess off. Probably won't be required on this job, but if you do get any stickies or loose or anything like that, this is the go for it. And kept buying from this supplier. I wanted to get one for a while, so I've got a new leaf mop. I'm in German. It's not a bad brush, but yeah, it's squirrel. I'm a squirrel. Good shit. So I've got to find a box or something to put that into. Not going to do any live leaf reading because that's not how live leaf works, to be honest. It's not how it works. It's not going to work like that. Still got to get some thinners or something and take some terps probably and take the pencil line off this. So it's got a little bit here because we were messing around with different curves and patterns and things, and this is what we ended up with, which is actually half a roll of masking tape, which is generally the way it works. So we got that. This really wants to dry a couple more days, so at some point I'm going to start on that and get it done. Right. That's what's happened. I spent a fair bit of the weekend working on these. There's no machining getting on done at all. There's nothing. There's really nothing. I also painted this blue. I'm not sure whether blue's the colour, but I've got a blue panel. Not convinced that blue's the answer, but that's what we got. That's for another job. Watch this spot because it may change or it may be a completely different panel and I might put this back in storage. I don't know. We'll see. Got to remember to put these in. Mark, this is probably something that your roller needs if you're rebuilding the tenders anytime soon. Put these in it. The blue is going to be the pub sign, except it's not a pub sign when I reread the brief. So that's not particularly helpful. But anyway. These are hot water cylinder anodes for the tender. Got two of these. Screw in the back. They've just got, basically they've got two threaded holes in the back inspection cover. About 6 inches apart, 4 inches apart, something like that, and these screw in. Keep the tank nice and clean. Very good idea. So at some point we've got to put them in. That's a very useful thing. They weren't expensive. They've been kicking around for a while. They should have gone in months ago, but they haven't. It's got brass plugs in it at the moment, which isn't good, but we need to fix that. Hey, John. So there we go. There is a mountain of things that would ideally be like to be fixed before the end last week and in this month. I can't see that half of them are going to be fixed. So we're going to be putting stuff back together sort of how it is and dealing with it. And however, I don't really want to pull these two covers off ever again. So I'd like to have this coat of arms on here and a coat of clear on them. And screw them on and they ain't coming off. So that's a job. So yeah, sacrificial anodes. What else? I spent yesterday trying to get truck finished. Nearly got it done, that one. It's a bit of a job. I reckon there's still another 4 hours in it. There's only very minor stuff. It's starting to look pretty good. It's all finished down. It's below the windows. Everything's finished. Above the windows, there's a line of text along the top of the sun visor above the window. That's on and looks good. It just needs probably something to break it up, whether it's a shadow. Not feeling like a shadow is a thing, but either like a shadow or a block. I'm not sure about a block either because I've put it in a casual or like a casual style, which looks really good. I think it's very informal. I think a block it's probably, or a shadow is too much, but it might have a line around the middle of it just to break it up. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Hey, Bill. Feeds his love life sacrificial, probably. Anyway, we were excellent, Bill. Good to see you. So, that's nearly done. I reckon 3 or 4 hours will do it, and I really should have some money for me next week. So that's a job that's at the end, and that's something I won't have to worry about until the next one starts up. Looking for work. If anyone's got any paying jobs, jump up and down. Come and ask me about them in the Gold Coast of Brisbane or Northern Rivers area. But anyway, I've got plenty to do otherwise. Went to work today. Monday I put this line on here. I did that job on that and finished it. There's a dent in one corner. I'm not sure which corner, but I fixed it. It's that one. I think that one or that one. I think, but anyway, sorted that out. Could be that one or that one, but anyway, can't see it now. Fix that. Who's Mac? No idea who Mac is. Right. Now, I pretty much had a panic attack this morning because when I think about my next year just disappearing like that, right? My next year's gone. Um, Hang on, I'm going to turn on live chat because I'm only getting half the messages here, I think. Don't know. Anyway. I'm struggling a bit with this, right? For one, I've taken on a portable project or half a portable project that's really a bit overwhelming at the moment, right? I've got a roller that needs work. So there's a list of things that would like to have done, depending on how much work and money I've got this next coming week, in the next coming year. So there's a crap load of things that I need to do. Like, seriously, the front end needs work and all needs to come out, and I'd really like to put rubber on the front rolls and sort out the pivot pin in the headstock, get everything painted and lined and cleaned up and everything done there. I'd very much like to get the cladding back on it, and I'd like to get the horn plates and the tender with some paint on it, even just a basic sort of paint, whether it's actually lined and striped or anything, I don't know. They're things that I would like to do before July next year, which is Glenray Timber Festival, because that's the one sure event that the roller will go to. I'd like to have all that done. However, fortnight after, or 3 weeks or something after Glenray Timber Festival, is the National Rally, which is at John Darien Woolshed, which is out on the Darling Downs, the black soil plains of Queensland. And it's about, from where the roller sits at the moment, I think it's about 500 kilometres, give or take 10, from where it is now to where it needs to be for what looks like it's going to be a 9-day event. Now, the logistics of this are crazy. Hear me out here. If we say, yes, we're going to do this, right? Which would be awesome, right? But if we're going to say, yes, we're going to do it, we need to say, yes, we're going to do it now, because there's all sorts of things like sponsorship and stuff for transport costs and things that need to be taken into consideration and need to be sought after fairly passionately. Hey, Kevin. So, right, for 2 people to run that roller for 11 days or 9 days or whatever you want. Hi, Nigel. It's an impossibility because you're completely and utterly stuffed by about the end of the 3rd day. And what we're talking and keeping company with the roller and doing stuff. So we need a second crew probably too, right? So I did tentatively ask Mark today if he'd be keen on running a roller if his wasn't finished. For a few days, maybe at giving us a hand anyway for a few days at the National Rally. And he gave me a thumbs up. That's all I got. So I don't think that's probably definite, but it gives me a little bit of hope, right? Also, we need to be prepared that if we can't get all the sponsorship dollars, which I'm not sure we actually can, Oh, yes, you do. Randy, excellent. Yeah, come and roll a few car parks out here. That'd be fantastic. Christian, g'day. So to get there is a crazy big job, right? And we've got to commit. And if there's sponsorship money there, we've sort of a bit obliged to take it, because leaving people in the lurch at the end of everything is a pretty nasty thing to do. So if we say yes, then we've got to say yes. Mark's not committing. I'm filtering out your comments. Absolutely. If we say yes, then we're committed. And if we're committed and we don't find all the sponsorship money, we might have to find a couple of grand on our own, which is not, with enough notice, is not terrible. But we'll see. Anyway, I don't know what to do, but still looking for quotes. You need to be committed, but it's a big job. Watch this space. Anyone who wants... Yeah, anyway. It's probably, I feel like I'm going to be committed before then. You don't have to do now all 11 days. That's exactly right. But yeah. Anyway, I'm thinking about it. Christian should be thinking about it too. Christian and Dan are probably going to be committed to the 4 or 5 days over the main event, right? But if you've got a road vehicle, it's very nice to do a road run too with all the others, which would be fun. Anyway, we're talking about the National Rally, which is the last weekend in August next year, 2025, at John Darien Woolshed on the Black Soil Plains. That's what we're talking about, Christian. Then there's bit. So they're going to say that they're undertaking to look for sponsors. I don't think that Mark would have more idea about this, and I'm not going to put him on the spot. But I've got a feeling that there might not be as many sponsors for the event as there might be engines. And we're probably coming the furthest of anyone. So I don't know. I feel like you need to say yes, and if you do say yes, you need to be prepared to put a couple of grand into the bank into the pool to get there. So that's where I'm at. Very good event, 11-day big steam event. Lots and lots of engines, and a lot of people that I know. Not even close? Not even close to what? There's people from Victoria and Tas coming. Yeah, well let's have a look. Because it's at this tour, we're sort of talking about $100,000. I'm not trying not to be too much of a killjoy, but we're talking about $100,000 worth of transport. And Dan's has been approved, so I better get a quote at some point very soon. Anyway, That's may or may not be happening at this point in my life. It's subject to change in the next 24 to 48 hours, but at this point it may or may not be happening. Because I'm tired and I'm burnt out and I'm a bit on edge about actually even getting to Glen Ray without doing anything else or thinking anything else about it. Russ Knox, good day. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. I saw Nigel come in the chat at Go Create Hobby Machine Shop. There's a new video from him this last week, I think, about the die filer. It's looking pretty good. It's starting to look a bit heavy, but it's going to be a nice machine. Freestanding machine by the look of it. Bigger than I expected. Anyway. Should be good. It's worth checking out. Tea and biscuits, g'day. How about just doing one of the events? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. You see, and the other the other thing about committing to a rally in Queensland is that you're probably subconsciously committing to two, because I imagine that it's probably not going to be any more difficult perhaps to leave the thing in Queensland for a month and go to something else and then take it home. So all these things are going through my mind, right? But Glen Ray's right before it, so it's got to be in Grafton at that point and ready to go. And to do that, I'd like to have the boiler cladding on and finished to somewhere near this point, and the brass all done and quite a lot more paint on it. And I'd have the tender painted this colour and the front end painted this colour and the wheels painted that colour. Holy crap, Dan. Okay, well, he's pretty keen, but I guess he can walk the walk, he can talk the talk. We'll see. Anyway, I'm keen to put my hand up. No one's actually approached me directly. There's got to be some good sponsors, but I don't know. Anyway, my thoughts that a quote, so that I'm standing a little bit, so I'm a little bit prepared for what we're going to get, is that that I'm thinking that to get it up there and back is going to be $5,500 to $6,000, which is a fair bit. And then I've got to have a week off work as well, so I've got to have 2 weeks off work because I'm going to need a week to get to Glen Ray as well. Anyway, it's a bit much at the moment. It's a bit much at the moment for me to take in and commit to, but there's things to do. And I was thinking today, I'd just like to get in the workshop and do some model engineering and mess around with that and spend a couple of weekends and get it a little bit closer to running. Can't see that happening any time before end of August, but anyway. Anyway, that's how it is. There's 1,000 jobs to do. We're not going to get these done. There's grease cups there that are sort of a project. Yours is easier logistically. It'd be very nice to have mine there, but we'll see. At this point, I'm probably going to get a quote and submit it and if it gets accepted, then we'll think about it. I need some signwriting work. That's what I need if we're going to make all this work. Need a crap load of signwriting work. Anyway, I've got a bit. I've got dribs and drabs sort of in jobs, and there's jobs still to do. Haven't run out of work yet, but we'll see. But it'd be fun to go. Yes, absolutely. And it would also be fun to ride around on someone else's engine for the week. Because, anyway, we'll see. But apart from that, I'm sort of feeling completely burnt out, completely stuffed. Sort of half on top of things. I did my tax the other night, and my tax returns not as much of a comforting thing as I thought it might have been. So that's a bit ordinary. Does Dan part own the roller too? He should. No. Not as yet. At some point when I declare bankruptcy, he's probably going to own it. Or if I kick the bucket, he's probably got himself a roller. That's all I'm saying. But at this point, no. He does more than his share, which is amazing. Like, he really puts the effort in. And he's done a lot of things to make actually owning a roller sort of possible. But I'm just feeling the pinch a bit. Feeling like I'm spread a little bit thin this week. And next week. We'll see how we go. I'm not even sure how the fuel situation is going to be, because last week, that's what I did on Sunday. Sunday, I took a load of portable engine parts down to Dan's. Right, about a ton of stuff in the back of the van, in and out of firebox and fire bars and horn block supports and like crankshaft supports and boiler bits and pieces, that sort of thing, rivets, and when the rivets aren't there yet, but boxes of bolts and stuff like that, stays and tins of stays in oil, and there's some pretty heavy stuff. Anyway, I was hoping this weekend to get another load, right, and take down. I would like to hope that it's going to happen. If I'm really frugal, I might get it. Yeah, I might get it sorted. But we're working towards it still. I'm not saying never, but I'm feeling like getting there is going to be a big thing. Anyway, it's a big commitment owning a roller. Christian, if you're going to be there on Sunday, we need to make a bit of an effort to cut some firewood. That's something that's going to have to do. It's something that's going to have to happen. I really appreciate that. If you could give us a hand with that, we need some firewood. That's how that is. If you could stretch yourself to come and give us a hand with that, that would be really appreciated, because it's one less thing that I need to organise or pay for or whatever, and that's be an amazing help. Fire bars are ordered. We've got clips. What size clips do you need? We can do that, Christian. 5 bars ordered. I've still at some point got to get to the foundry, and it might be this. No, it's not going to be this Tuesday. I was going to do it this Tuesday, but it's not going to be this Tuesday. At least get some of these cars. Christian, in case you hadn't seen, that's the probably going to be a version of the Glenray Timberfest rally badge. For firewood for getting down the road to Glenray. Hopefully, coming back, we can fill up at Glenray and have enough. But we're going to need something to get down the road, out to the road to load to a truck. So that's where we're at. And if you burn it all this weekend, there'll be nothing. I think there's almost enough there to have steam up on Saturday night, but we'll see. We'll see what funds arrive before then. And we're going to need to test steam the roller as well, because the roller's got the doors out of it and everything. You only do what you can do. That's the thing, though. I can't. We're going to try pretty hard to get it test steamed on the 15th, I think is the day. But a lot to do before then. Ton of wood's about, or a trailer load of wood's about $300. But too much. But got to have it. I could. If you were talking to Danny, Fridge, you could get. If you could get permission for me to go in and fill up half a dozen bags of coal, I would absolutely do that. But they're sitting there and no one's using it, so if we could do that, yeah. And that's a big trailer load, yeah. And it's good wood, like it's really good wood. So that's worst case scenario, but I'd be very happy to pinch half a ton of coal if we had permission to do it. No, I'm pretty sure it's not Danny's call, but if he's there in the middle of the night with me, I don't know who's going to stop us. He's not president any more than I'm a member, but anyway. Coal's good, but you've got to be able to get it, and it's more expensive than wood. I'm not sure it burns hotter. Anyway, that's something to think about. If you're talking to him, bring it up. If you could do a couple of ton of wood, that would be fantastic. I'm going to try and get there like anything else with another load of bits for the portable, because it needs to be moved. But we'll see. Especially the UK coal that seems to have a lot of rocks and stuff in it lately, than what I hear. But anyway. Anyway, that's sorry guys to turn this into a little organisation thing for the next couple of weeks, but I'm seriously a bit stressed about it. I'm seriously quite a lot stressed about it today. I'll be fine in a couple of days. Like, I'll get on top of it, but at this point, I'm feeling it. Breathe, breathe, breathe. You should use less wood with the cladding on and avoid blowing off. I don't think the cladding in Australia will make as much difference as you think it will. But avoiding blowing off is very good. And I mean, you only blow off 2 or 3 times, but it seems that once it's hot, and you can't get away from that. It's just a matter of trying to economise on water as well. Anyway, we can get there. We'll do it. But I need this week. I just need a bit of a gap to do some other stuff as well. I want to get these cleared and ready to go back on. That's what I need to do. So what else has happened? What else is happening this week? Not very much. I've done a lot of miles in the last month, like a lot of miles. I was Sunday afternoon, I was at Grafton, and then I was back here Sunday night. Monday, what did I do Monday? Not very much. I did jobs around here and got things ready and sorted. Yeah, I think the Nimboida coal's pretty ordinary, to be honest. I know where there's about 20, probably 15 tonne of decent, like good coal, which no one's using and is only going to deteriorate, but it's not mine. So that makes it a bit hard. Anyway, that's that. This weekend I am going to get that truck finished, right? I'm going to get these finished. I'm going to try and get to Dan's for a day with a load of portable parts. I'm going to try and get some bits back together. So, famous last words. Anyway, a shovel and a balaclava is about what we need. You need someone to wait till Ian goes out to hospital or wherever he's going, because he's a cancer patient and he's not home all the time. And then we just need to get up there and with half a dozen bags and fill them up, but I can't really do that. You're very welcome to try. If you want to word up Danny, who's got some claim to it, I imagine, be pretty happy to. Is the roller operational at the moment? No. Only because these two covers are off the cladding. These two cladding covers are off the cylinders. And the bits that are off it because of this need to go back on it. So it needs the chimney back on it. It needs probably some sort of a blower in it. It's going to need some doors back in it. It's going to need these back on it, and it's going to need the drain valves back on it over the outside. and then it's operational. And we need fire bars. The fire bars have got to be picked up this week at some point. I'm waiting for a phone call. It could be here Friday. Could be here Friday. So they're all doable things. They'll all be done before Glenray, but honestly, I don't know how much before Glenray because it's a bit crazy. I don't think Ian drinks. And that particular club is a little bit tight. Water tankers, I know, it says them there. So they're not actually in there. Where are we getting the fire bars done? Unique Laser in Algester, are they? They're just here somewhere, Algester. They're getting them cut. We put plugs in a hurry last time. So that's them. They're sitting there, ready to go in. Some point, someone needs to put them in, and it's got to be this weekend. It's one of the jobs for this weekend. A unique laser are cut in the fire bars. We've still got to tack them up. It's not a big deal. Like, it really isn't. I don't think they need much of a weld on them. They don't need as much as I think Dan thinks they need. The one I've got here is just tacked up. So there are things that need to be done. There's also only 3 weeks away, so stressed. Anyway, what else? A washout would be fantastic, please. A water tank has access panels. You can't climb inside. One of them's underneath, like the big one's underneath. You can't really sit up in it. And the other one's in the back. So you can put your arm in it and reach most of it, but you can't climb inside. If you could wash that roller out, I would be very grateful. Very, very grateful. Be much appreciated. Anyway, that's about all that's happening in my life, is that I'm basically panicking, but we'll get there. That running board's sitting there too. That's got to go back on as well. That's ready to go back on, so that's another job. No, none of us have kids. You don't have steamrollers and kids. Those two don't go together. That's where we're at with that. It's something you learn. The washout's not a big job while the plugs are out of it. It's going to need a good washout around the back of the foundation ring, though. That's fairly important, I think, at this stage. Yeah, I'm fairly confident there wasn't any kids. You've got to sort of drop off the substance abuse for a little while before you actually have that capability. And back in those years, I don't think there was a lot of that happening. So yeah, good on you. Anyway. So I'm fairly happy with these. These will do anyway. they're going to get a coat of clear on them, they're going to get a coat of arms on one of them, and they're going to go back on. Everything's going to be nice, and we'll put all the polished drain cocks and everything in front of them and put all that stuff back together. We should have engines very close to being running and looking a lot tidier than it was. And banning slaves was probably a stupid idea, but anyway. I doubt very much whether if Dan had a lot of little black girls living in a shed out the back, or even Bill for that matter, if he had a lot of little black girls living in a shed out the back, that there'd be any more work done. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're as practical as you think they are. I'm just saying. Anyway. If I had somewhere here for a computer monitor and a computer, which I don't, right, in this room, because it's not a very big room, I would have one of these fancy live streams like Mark has with like presentations and stuff, because there's lots of cool stuff we could look at. I don't have room, so you're not getting a presentation and stuff. It's not happening. But we've had a look at stuff. Mark was keen for information on the chime whistle. There isn't any. Nothing can happen. Nothing's happened yet. Made up at Petrie says, let's cast it. Dallas says, let's have a go at it. So with a challenge like that, I would really like to do it, but it ain't going to be before Glen Ray. Ain't going to happen before Glen Ray. And then we might have a look at the chime whistle and a few other jobs, but there's things to do first. But there won't be much of a gap because the National Rally is only 12 months away. The massive chime whistle for the roof of the sawmill, that's the one, Dan, you got it. Not a priority, Peter says. What do we need to do? We need to make a core box and a pattern. That's what I need to do. Interesting job, but we'll see how that goes. But we need it so Christian can hear from his place, which is what, an hour away. 40 minutes or something. A restricted speed limit, of course. Anyway, we will keep everyone posted about the chime whistle. I will get onto it at some point. It's going to be something that happens, but there's 1,000 other little jobs first. Like, seriously. Anyway, that's the colour scheme. For anyone who's got any doubts at all about what colour I was going to paint the roller, it's going to be that colour, which is grey with a black trim. Fair bit of black on it. Cylinder liner is black, or the cylinder is black in the back. Give you some sort of an idea. And lots of brass. I need to be a bit tinny out of a 44-gallon drum. I think you need a little bit of sort of something to stop the vibration rattle. Anyway, that's where we're at. Probably be some more information on a portable and an update, a video update at some point when we've got more bits kicking around at Dan's where we can actually do it. It's half at Dan's and half at John's where we bought it. And we need to transport more of it because John needs a space. Anyone who wants to come and give me a hand to move half a portable engine the next few weekends would be very, very happy, appreciative of the help. But I'm sort of feeling like panic attack coming when I'm thinking about it at the moment. Anyway, that's pretty much me, and that's my week, and that's what's happening. I trade with anyone. Anyone who wants to trade, I'll come and drink beer at your house, and you can come and deal with all this. Be very happy. But except Dan, not sure I'd trade with Dan on a lot of levels. Sorry. Other than that, I'm probably going to call this. I'm not going to do this gold leaf tonight. I thought I might, but this is still wants another day to dry, I reckon. I'm sort of thinking that this could do with another day on it, because by the time I wipe that pencil mark off there, I think it's going to be a little bit damp, and I reckon another day on this would be good, and then we'll do it. And I think a day on this will make a big difference. You forgot to get toothpaste. It's you haven't got a carver plant growing in the backyard, that's nearly as good, and it gives you better side effects. No, well, you took that on yourself, Dan. That's where we're at with that fridge. It's something that I didn't encourage in any way, shape, or form. You never heard me say, "Yeah, what a great idea. Why don't you go and do that?" It didn't happen. It's getting a bit dry, yeah. I hear you on that. Anyway, I'm going to call it. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and saying hi and letting me rattle on about all this stuff that doesn't really matter to anyone. Fridge is doing the QR driver training for mainland steam, which is a bit stupid, but there you go. Everyone needs that. Anyway, be kind to each other. I've got stuff to do. I've really got to think seriously about. I've got to do some artwork for another job and a few things like that, maybe tonight even. We'll see how we go with that. I'll leave you with a tip. That's all right. Be kind to your mother, all that stuff. And we'll keep you posted. We'll have more next week, but I see how much I actually got done. And we're waiting for Mark and Dan to take that conversation out. Dan's joined the Southern Down Steam Railway, so he's going to go back mainland driving. So good on him, because we don't need any other work. It makes me feel tired just thinking about his workload. Mine's bad enough. Anyway, I'm out. Catch you guys. And be kind to each other. More soon, eh? Appreciate seeing you all, and thanks for the likes.